Hello. Let me minimize that. Bam. Ooh, spooky. Surprise. Hello, everyone. It's me, Wolverine. Bub. This is very warm, and I can barely see in this thing. Might just have to be that way. So I guess we'll find out. Oh god, yeah, my vision here is just absolutely abysmal. But on my headphones here, God, Mo, my spikes. I need to wear something like that. Hey, Janice, what's up? Okay. do I not look like Wolverine? I feel like I look pretty Wolverine in this. Like, come on. Come on. Wolverine here. Actually, I do have the claws. Y'all want to see claws? I can't see in this thing. Okay. All right. I got the claws. Got the claws. Bam. It's like I just jumped out of the movies with this thing. You know, Berserker Barrage, Drill Claw, you know, Wolverine, like, sniff. What's the sound effect Wolverine makes when he, like, retracts his claws? It's like, something like that. I mean, come on. Like, I don't, God, my vision is, like, I can see maybe, like, 25% of my vision. These things are, like, gigantic on my hands. So I feel like my hands are giant trying to move around this keyboard with these things on. But like come on. Ready Wolverine here. Can I go back to cam with the claw? Can I press my stream deck? Oh my god, I did it. Hey, adamantium. And that's pretty tight. Y'all want to talk about normal zombie monsters? I feel like I need to do something spooky for Halloween. And what I haven't talked about normal zombies. There's not that much actually, surprisingly, right? Most of them are like early Yu-Gi-Oh, exception of like one. Then again, it's not like we get many like normal zombie monsters, so it's kind of like whatever. But still, it's enough to talk about. Do a little fun tier list, and then I will be off next week. But the following week, we will actually return to the normal monsters with effects. So that will return. And I'm very hype about that. Can I like claw some of these zombies down here? Hey, TCG player, you want some too? Janjo zone. Hey, most serious duels, what's up? Zombies, yeah. Of course, I'm not a zombie for Halloween. I'm the Wolverine. Some would say. We're trying to talk about ranking. I don't know if this is the same like ranking we had when I did the like core set tier lists, but we have S, A, B, C, and D. Reasonable default settings. I personally think it's a real scratcher. This tier list might be. All right, all right, okay. The claws are coming. They were out. Now they're going off. If you want to see the claws again, you might need to donate some money for that. Minimum $5. Hey, just another empty channel. What's up? Are zombies actually zombies, or translators decide to use some localization in Western culture? I believe they were. I don't have my stream deck to immediately jump to this. Oh god, what? This looks weird. What's going on? Do. Oh, Wikipedia's experienced technical difficulties. What the heck? Interesting. Oh, yeah, let me see if I can look. I can research this. Because Dark type's evil, right? In Japan. Armor. I'm just gonna look up armored zombie just for one. Ads, get out of here. Do. Zombie. So in Japan, it's considered undead. Yeah. So it's basically a zombie, right? Undead zombie, the living dead, dead alive. What was once living is now dead, but living once again. X people. These are X people. Hey, Giulian, what's up? If I'm Wolverine, is Beesawk's Deadpool? Maybe. Yeah, you have to ask him on his next stream. He does. I mean, he did say he wasn't really going on anything for Halloween, so maybe we can do something fun for still doing this next year by Halloween. Last year I was Ryan Gosling from Drive. I was the Drive. I was Mr. Drive. The driver. I got like the jacket and the fingerless gloves and everything. It was very fun. This is a lot more sillier though, but it's also more comfy because I got the full outfit. Like I got the hoodie, I got the sweatpants, like the joggers. I even got I'm not wearing it right now, but I do have like an X-Men like belt, like a belt buckle. Plus the beanie, which is going to be great come the winter. Because not only does it keep me warm, but it also hides my identity. I mean, you can't beat that. You know, normal zombies actually look pretty cool. Like, gotta give them credit. Like, if like I'm gonna tier them by their usefulness, but like if we had to tier them by like how cool they look, I mean, like your Ronzo's cool. Temple of Skulls, like it's just a house. It's just a house. I mean, Shadow Specter is just Skull Servant, but without the body. And the Fire Reaper is just Skull Servant, but with like the hood on. Yeah, you'd think we got more normal zombies in like early Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's about as common as like ghost types are in early Pokemon, you know? Which is even funnier in Yu-Gi-Oh's case because it is supposed to be like the scary, spooky series, right? I mean, I'd like to rank them by like their usefulness. Yeah, Yoranzo is way better in Dungeon Dice Monsters, or at least he's more known for that. Which is silly that we never got like. I feel like we should get some retrains for some of these cards for Dungeon Dice Monsters. Like we just got some Dungeon Dice cards in the last few years. Um, I mean, Three Legged Zombie got a retrain, but Yoranzo never got like a dice effect version. Zombie Shark would score high. Magical Ghost tier 0. It's actually a little difficult to drink because I can't like see the cup. I, I should have had like a straw. I have reusable straws, like these like metal ones, but I usually just use them for like smoothies. If I make smoothies. I mean, I think we already know Skull Servant's S, right? S. You got it? There we go. Because like, I mean, it's used in like the decks, and the deck has been meta. Like if it's on release, it'd be D tier, but like by this point in the game, which I like to keep in mind the entire history of a card, not just like how it performed back then or how it only performs currently. I like to take in account like the card like as a whole. And for Skull Servant, like yeah, like on LB it was terrible, but it has seen play. It still can see play if you decide to play the Skull Servant deck, which is more than a lot of these cards can get. And honestly, it might be the only S tier. Exactly, historical relevance. Absolutely, that's what we're here for. I mean, obviously, there's, if you ask me from a year from now, I might like change things on this list. Also other cards could change. Like some cards have more functions than others. Some I might not even be too terribly aware of. Like Zombino is like the only new card, and I don't know. Like it's level 4, I guess, but I mean Kyonshee is level 4. Uranzo's level 4. Assailant and Ghost level 4s. Temple of Skulls is level 4. You could like rescue rabbit that thing out or something like that. Is that rescue rabbit? Is that the level 4 ones? Because cat's level 3 beasts. Like Dragon Zombie is kind of an awkward card because I feel like it's good if you're playing zombies in like 2002 Yu-Gi-Oh, but that is not saying much. I mean, technically, Armored Zombie, could be played in critter format because it's a last will target. Also, I should be scrolling around like this. This is why I set this up. I took my time to set this up. Yeah, Skull Servant definitely S tier, just like his name S. In fact, he should be SS tier because Skull Servant. Let's talk about Dragon Zombie. He might be a good like litmus test. Yeah, so Dragon Zombie came out in Starter Deck Yugi. Um and it is like the strongest zombie for quite some time, like normal zombie. Uh especially if you're playing like a pumpkin Castle of Dark Illusions kind of strategy. But again, these are very like saying rogue would be uh given a lot of credit, you know. But uses stuff with like use like was it vile germs for zombie? No, violet crystal. Violet crystal and like sort of dark destruction. It's Yami. Does it crease? No, Yami's not dark. Mystic Plasma Zone. You can use Mystic Plasma Zone on it. Or I guess theoretically you could use Wasteland. Like you could do a Yugi Kaiba with like Wasteland zombies with this thing and Giant Soldier Stone. But a lot of this, if we're being honest, is cope. A lot of cope here. A lot of copium with the Dragon Zombie. But like, I mean, you compare it to a lot of these other stuff. It's also an emissary of the afterlife target, I believe, because it's a level 3, so it does get under certain stuff like gravity bind and area limit level B. So it's like it's not an S tier, but it's certainly not a D tier. I don't. I feel like it's somewhere between B and C. especially like comparatively, right? Like, I feel like it'd be easier to throw like a good chunk of these just in D and call it a day, but like that's no fun, right? We're here to have fun and on Janjo Live. Which, by the way, we're inching towards that 30K $30 goal, the $30 for 30K. So what do y'all think about Dragon Zombie? I mean, I could be convinced into A, but it might be because I feel like compared to like some of the other ones, like especially for its time, and given it is a level 3 which does have utility, I could see a world where it is A tier. Again, in comparatively to all the other normal zombies. Because it's strong for a level 3. I mean, its defense is 0, so there are better. Like, if you want to do like a Dark Destruction kind of thing, there are better cards, but it is a zombie, which is thematic. Also, it looks cool. Big purple zombie reminds me of like Final Fantasy. Those like undead dragons, like FF6. Where you cast Phoenix down on them and they instantly die. Goodness, this mask is. I'm gonna take this off later, and it's gonna be like, what the heck? Hmm. Yeah, it's somewhere between A, B, and C. Because like, what would be A tier otherwise? Like maybe Kyonshee. Technically, Pharaonic Protector and Pharaoh Servant have a use. There's also like Snake Hair, but we didn't see Snake Hair in early Yu-Gi-Oh because it wasn't out yet. Like I feel like Kyonshee would be A tier. Just because like it is like definitely the strongest zombie. I mean 1750, like I wish they just went ahead and made it 18 instead of like dropping it down a little bit. But it is like miles better than even if it's just like 150, that's 1750 is just better than the 1600. So I feel like Kyonshi's an A. So with that in mind, like Dragon Zombie, I'm feeling B. Like if we want to call it like just down the middle, like it's worse than Kyonshi, but better than other things. And if B's like middle, I'm like middle is the way to go, right? Which might not bode well for everything else. So like potentially we could like bump everything up potentially if we're feeling like it's too a bit too lopsided. You know. By the way, what's everyone going as for Halloween? Oh come on, please switch. There you go. I feel like some of these, like the vanillas I've seen in like builds with like certain support cards that like make use of them, like Clown Zombie. Like I think I've seen stuff in speed duels. I try not to take speed duels into account. But if you need like a level 2 zombie, like he's strong, right? Like he's not bad for a level 2. but it is more niche. So, C might be the place for Clown Zombie. The Armored Zombie. This guy, like, obviously he's not as strong as Dragon Zombie, but he can't be searched off of the last will. Which I suppose is something. If you're like into that type of stuff. Like I feel like he's probably along the same tier as like Dragon Zombie, right? Like obviously this guy wasn't in Yugi Kaiba because he came out in Metal Raiders. But they do kind of go alongside if you want to do like a pure zombie build, at least in the early Yu-Gi-Oh, because they are like the two strong like vanillas. It's also interesting noting this too. There is no high level vanilla zombie. Like Earl of Demise is a fiend. Isn't that kind of surprising? Like I never noticed that. I just realized it looking at this list. There's no level 5, 6, 7, 8. Like if you're a zombie guy for like if you want to play like a big vanilla beater, it's like nah, you gotta do effects. Like that's the only way about it. Which is a little surprising. You think there'd be some like really crappy, like even like a level 5, right? But no. But I feel like he's probably B tier. I'm thinking. Now, kind of likewise, I feel like Pharaoh's servant, S ranky thick as hell. Hey, what's up? Spaghetti-O Bandit. Armored zombies thick? Hold on a second. This guy? That bony ass hand? Apparently, Robert England said he's too old and thick to play Freddy now. Oh, the clown. Hey, I'm not putting him in D tier. Like, I think his attack with a level 2 is like decent. It's just we really have yet to see anything make like real use of it. Like I know there was some theory a while back of like potentially in speed duels, but nothing ever really came up with it. Because typically with level 3s where you get more of the stuff like 3s and like 2 level 2s are kind of like an awkward level in Yu-Gi-Oh. I feel like you never really see much support for that specific 2. Like it's it's always like it's like a rescue rabbit or tour guide kind of thing, right? It's like flip of a coin. Hey Emmy, what's up? Emmy La Marionette. Doesn't Dragon Zombie have some use in Goat deck that uses of Reaper thing flows to level 3 or yeah, you're talking about Emissary of the Afterlife. That is fair. It is because it's a level 3 or lower like normal. It's the second strongest aside from Sonic Duck, which has 17. You know what? Okay, sure. I'll bump it up. I'll leave Armor Zombie in B because I do think like it's interesting for like Last Will, and just being slightly weaker than that. Like there, if y'all want to argue Clown Zombie for B, make feel free to make that argument. Yeah, like you don't really see emissary decks that much, but like they do pop up in like like the more popular in regards to like fun decks that can pull out wins here and there if you're playing like lower on the ladder. Clown Zombie got the level 2 support. Yeah, but it's just like we haven't seen anything with it. That's the problem. Like theoretically, he could. I mean, we could bump him up to be in regards to he's a strong level 2, and that is unique unto itself. So it's like he's good in regards to his like upwards potential. That might be something. Like he's no plague spreader zombie. Would level 2 be usable in casual? Yeah, for some reason you just don't like you see it more in like synchros and stuff, and not like vanillas. Like isn't like is there no like rescue thing for like level 2? Like what's that upcoming rescue hedgehog? Like what does that thing do? You know, I have seen some speed duel decks that use, I believe, like Fire Reaper and some, I think Blue Eye Silver Zombie and some other things. I don't remember what for. I don't remember. It might. I think it's some like Bakura skill or something that is like the Abydos thing. Like Pharaoh Protector and Pharaoh Servant is like pretty bad, but like at least they have support, right? Let me see if I can find that deck I'm thinking of, because I know I have it in my like big old dueling book like library thing. Look up on my my northern monitor here. Um yeah, what deck would it be? I have a lot. Similar but not quite what I'm thinking of. It's Into Darkness. Ancient Ruler Rises? No. Ancient Vampire? No. The Ancient Vampire Red? No. Hope hope this thing exists. Da, 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 da. I found a premature material deck that uses Dragon Zombie and Snake Hair, but that's for Great Mammoth of Goldfine. Yeah, I don't know if I have this deck. I thought I did, but I might be just thinking of Into the Darkness that uses some other, but like they're all fiends. That's probably what I'm thinking of. What's up, Lazy? Yeah, 2 hours from that Pharaoh guy in GX. Yeah, like it's really cool card. The oh goodness, what was it called? What was that Confirmation Sanctuary card called? The Pharaoh thing. The name just completely escaped my mind. So I have to pull out my like Ancient Sanctuary binder. Oh my god, chat, please help me out with this. Oh my god, I'm having like a mental blank. Pharaonic, it's not Pharaonic. No, it's oh my god, what is this guy's name? So I can just look it up myself. How's Ancient Sanctuary? I'm having like the biggest brain fart. It's a brain shat right now. Spirit of the Pharaoh. God dang it. Yeah, like these cards are like bad, but again, at least they have a utility with a card. That's more than a lot of these guys can say. even if their whole point is just to like revive them, bring them back. It is more than a lot of them. But now we're kind of getting to like, I feel like a lot of these are going to be more awkward to discuss. Got Zombino 2000. I mean, I feel like you wouldn't play him or anything like that, but like, we gotta put him in A just for attack alone. A 4-star attack zombie, right? Like, that's good. Yeah, Zombino. Yeah, this is like the only like moderny one. It is kind of funny, right? Just how rare we get vanillas nowadays. Usually they are some like kind of like high attack weird thing. And yet, even so, we still have yet to see a high level normal zombie. Come on, Konami, give me like a level 7 like zombie wing weaver or something. Criminy. Iran's just good defense. Relative. Snake Ear, solid attack. Temple of Skulls is fusion material for something. I know Snake Ear is fusion material for something. I think those are the only monsters that are fusion material for something. Am I incorrect with this assumption? Snake Ear is Great Mammoth of Gold Fine. I think Temple of Skulls is for like a bird. Skullbird, that sounds roughly about right. Um, yeah, we look up. Yeah, Skullbird sounds about right. Doesn't come to the top of my head just because it's not like a TCG card. It came in later. Yeah. Takuhi and Temple of Skulls, Skullbird. I mean, I guess it's got that going for it, right? You can at least fuse with it. That and Snakehair. Again, I'm trying to be like more generous with like a list like this because it's easy to just say like all these are like crap. So I feel like we have to look at them in a vacuum. I'm also Temple of Skulls just looks like cool. Like it's just unique. Like look at that background. That's some spooky real ass sky. All these skulls. That skull is like crying bloody tears. Look at that. I never even noticed that. A mysterious temple of skulls and bones that pulls in unsuspecting enemies. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Yeah, I don't think any of the other ones are fusion materials or anything. Yeah, snake hair plus dragon zombie actually become great man with the gold fine, which obviously you wouldn't get from TCG for some time as well. Actually, same thing with snake hair. Like snake hair was legendary collection Joey's World first print for TCG, whereas Temple of Skulls was a Tournament Pack 8 print. Yeah, that's kind of wild to think about. Eh. If anyone's enjoying the stream, consider dropping a like. YouTube likes engagement helps spread the channel out, and it costs you nothing. I can't describe how awkward it is to drink with this thing on. This Wolverine mask. This is like beanie. They're definitely like whittling down like the bad. Like what's the weakest zombie? Shadow Specter is 500 attack. Fire Reaper 7. Voice Super Zombie. I think Shadow Specter is in fact the weakest zombie here. Wolverine meets Gremlins. That would be fun. We need more crossover movies, I think. I think Shadow Specter well, it is a level 1. Which does mean you can use 1-for-1. And if you're playing like some weird format, you could technically use Metamorphosis on it. Is that enough to get it out of like D tier though? I don't know. It is the only level 1 on here though, which might be worth something. So look at this art. Look at this big old spooky. Almost looks like it has a mustache or something going on there, eh? Is it being level 1 worth it being in C tier? That's the question we might have to ask ourselves. Yeah, is Shadow Specter being a level 1 worth it? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Fire Reaper though. So I don't know why this like. Can I put these in like alphabetical order here? Just so it's easier for me to like look at them. Something like that. Um, Fire Reaper, I feel like definitely is because even like because he came out in Volume 1 Yu-Gi-Oh in the OCG, and like he's not even a fire type because fire types didn't exist in Volume 1. But even by like that standard, zombies had like nothing. I feel like if anything, Fire Reaper like would be down there. Because like you had Violet Crystal, I believe in Volume 1, or at the very least Booster 1. But that ain't gonna do much, Chief. Sorry. Sorry to break it to you. Whereas Blue Eyed, I feel like this guy also has like the same problem, right? Where this guy was released a little bit later, which was even worse. And he's the same problem, just but like a level 3. I mean, it's cool looking art wise. Big old skull being like, bleh, here's an eyeball. That's kind of fun. Look at this. Let's get a close up on that. There you go. Blue eyed silver zombie. We need a blue eyed silver dragon zombie. That'd be cool. Ooh. Corroding Shark. I mean, it looks cool. But by TP1, like that ain't doing anything. I guess zombies is just like they're dark, but like this guy should have been a water zombie, right? Like why was he a like by the time he was out, like water I mean water was in volume 1, right? So like water has always been a thing in Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, it's hard for me to think of like anything with this guy like that you can't just do with even like armored zombie. He's too edgy to be a water type. I mean, I get the zombie part of it, but like that's why zombies there. It doesn't need to inherently be a dark. Also, he doesn't even bite. He delivers its lethal curse with a spell. He's more of a spellcaster. I guess that's why he instead of actually biting things, he uses the dark arts. But then why is he has like zombie blood coming out? That sounds like a Goosebumps book. Zombie blood. Maybe next year I should just do a stream reading a Goosebumps book. Yeah, corroding shark. I just don't see anything like worth going for it. Dark Assailant, originally called Dark Assassin, but he still has Assassin in the flavor text, which is kind of funny. You know, they're like, "Oh, we found the mistake," but then they forgot about the other mistake because that should have been the Sinister Assailant. I do believe this guy was also on the card. I believe on the card. He was the card. Shadow Slayer, which is like basically a retrain of this guy with an effect. I think it might be GX era. I could be mistaken. And this guy has cool art. I mean, his stats being 12 and 12 is at least consistent, but I don't know. Same issues. Like, what are you doing with this, right? Because it also came out in like the 2002 starter decks, which we got Dragon Zombie, which is just like way better. And once later, you get Armored Zombie, which is already better. You know, like I suppose if you're playing like a zombie deck, but then it also has like Magical Ghost is just ever so slightly better as well. But at least he has over 1,000 attack, you know? Like, that's something. I mean, what's 13th Grave? Also 12. Yeah, you gotta worry about the shark zombies. Like, they're devastating. It's like, wasn't like the Italian movie Zombie where a zombie fought a shark? And they cast spells? Like, it feels like they didn't even know what this card even was supposed to be. Because Dr. Stelly's got all those, like, knives. Yeah, those aren't his hands, his big fingernails. Those are actually feeling like kunai, just kind of like Wolverine. He's like Wolverine. You know, for a while I thought he had like peg legs. I didn't realize those were just like big boots. Because if you look at the card from like a distance, right? I thought maybe he was on like stilts or something. We also got like a knife here. He got two swords. Like, does this guy not have enough? Is he that inefficient that he needs all that? Or like what's the deal? He's got like the Sheikah eye from Zelda on there too. You know? Right from Dark Assailant. I'm Yeah, I don't know. Like, he's better than 13th Grave by defense alone. And he's just ever so slightly weaker than Magical Ghost. in which I don't think you do like anything with those cards, right? Like I feel like Magical Ghosts, you could theoretically, I mean, in regards to like if you had to do something pure, that's kind of the best you got aside from Dragon Zombie in like Yugi Kaiba format. Also, the art's kind of dope. I mean, I use it for the thumbnail, so like it's kind of cool. It's a magic ghost like Casper, but it's green with the big purple hat. It's like Green Goblin. Because I feel like Magical Ghost will like kind of set everything for everything else. Why he's only mentioned one sword and he has two? Maybe he only needs he only needs one psycho. Maybe one specifically, the psycho sword, and the other ones isn't. I mean, he rules the Badlands, not the Badlands, the Badlands. He's a bad boy. Dark Assailant B. Yeah, I'm split between like C and D, honestly. Because like even Uranzo's better, and that came out McDonald's Pack One, which was what December 2002. Like three-legged zombies really bad. Like Unizombie's good. Like Unizombie's a D. Like if anything else is a D, like he's definitely a D. Like at least everything else, with the exception of Shadow Specter, which again, I'm arguing that possibly a C because it is a level one. Like you got Skull's Servant, but if you need like other level ones and stuff, I mean he is there, right? The levels of normal zombies are really weird, aren't they? Right? A lot of like 2 through 4s, but like not really much more or less. Like you have this and Skull Servant, which are level ones. I feel like a lot of these like see if I can. Euronzo's the best out of all these down here because he has the same attacks as Magical Ghost, but slightly higher defense by 100. And then is Dark Assailant, and then it's 13th Grave, and Shadow Specter is kind of on a different thing. So let's figure out Shadow Specter first, chat. What do you think about Shadow Specter? Is level 1 worth enough to get up to C with like utility with whatever level 1 support? Or is it just like is Skull Servant enough to fit that niche where Shadow Specter is just really bad and is just worth a D, a flat D? What do y'all think? Because like you're not gonna play this guy in early TCG, because he wasn't out yet. He first came out in Speed Duels, of all things. Both him and Fire Reaper and Blue Eyed Silver Zombie. We got 3 vanillas in Speed Duel alone. That's actually kind of cool. And we also got a Clown Zombie reprint and a Snake Hair reprint, I believe, which is great. I'm here for it. But how are we feeling about Shadow Specter, though? C, but barely. Yeah, it's rough. I mean, just because like one just has like better level one has better support and stuff, I'd be willing to do that. Though you could easily put it on, and also just like reiterate this list. It is it's not like card by card. It's just like a blank tier. So I'm not saying like Zombino's better than like Master Kyonshee or Armor Zombie better than Clown Zombie. It's just we're just dumping them in here. Um, but you could definitely have an argument for Shadow Specter being a D tier. I'm trying to be as generous as possible with these cards. Which leads to all these. So if 13th Grave is the weakest, he's also the only level 3 of them, but we've already have like our good level 3s and 4s. So I feel like that's not really an argument at this point as like what makes the card good or not. Because we got like Kyonshee. You know, we got Zombino. Even though that's more like a modern thing, technically. Snake Hair is. In regards to like the TCG, not the OCG. So I feel like 13th Grave is a D. Like he's cool. You know, big old sword. And just like it looks like a dark version of Skull Servant, but like just compare like everything else on this list. I feel like D is a good spot for him. Let's see. So if we're moving up on like the weakling list, then we got Dark Assailant. So we're going back to this guy with the Psycho Sword. Psycho Sid. Rest in peace. Yeah, I'm feeling D. I just think we have better options out there. Because at least your Onzo Magical Ghosts have like the same attack. So like I'd be willing to put Magical Ghosts in C. I just don't think it's worth because even if you play a zombie deck in like early 2002 Yu-Gi-Oh, or like you're basically just gonna have Dragon Zombie. Surprised died and get a zombie card. Yeah, within the last like 5 years, we got Mazera like Algol or whatever it's called. Yo, Neon Thunder, what's up? Magical Ghost is pretty okay and early on FM, but that's about it. Yeah, but FM isn't the TCG though, unfortunately. Because even like FM's like meta's kind of wonky. It's kind of more of in its own bubble. Though I do like the spirit. Whereas Yoranzo here, it's still pretty bad. I mean, at least 15 defense is like if it like it feels stronger than like 14, right? Like obviously it is, but it just feels more defensive just naturally. But I feel like it's on the same like wavelength as like Magical Ghost though. Like they both have the same reason if you were to play like one over the other. Right? But like even 2002, like you'd be playing Dragon Zombie and like that's basically it, right? You'd be playing some sort of package with like maybe Wasteland or maybe Sword of Dark Destruction. But you wouldn't be playing Magical Ghost or Yoranzo. Um like if you're playing just like a very pure thing, but that is very schoolyard kind of Yu-Gi-Oh. And that's kind of where you could have something like these other cards too, right? You could do some like dumb stuff, in which formats that they're legal in. Like had Shadow Specter been around, in 2003, you could theoretically do stuff with it, I guess. Again, I'm trying to be as generous with all these cards as possible here, which is a little bit challenging because a lot of them are very similar and a lot of them have more skeptical uses than anything. I feel like, right? Because it feels weird because obviously Skull Servant's like a solid S tier. A, you definitely see those often. B is like kind of like the weird one, right? Where it's like, well, they technically have certain uses. Like you could even make an argument for even like Armored Zombie go down to C, Clown Zombie go down to C, but then like we ain't got no B tier then. I mean, I would even hear an argument for like stuff like Snake Hair, even like Yoronzo in B tier. Like this is by no means like a complete list, okay? Like you can definitely like move things around, and I might even agree with you depending on like the arguments made, the conversations put in place. I mean, hell, you can even argue Zombino for S tier just because it's by far the strongest vanilla. But Skull Servant just has seen the most meta use, and I cannot, um, deny that it's seen that kind of stuff. Kyonshee's really cool though. I'm kind of sad you don't really see more of that in like early Yu-Gi-Oh, just because zombies are just Pyramid Turtle. Like it was released in the same set as Pyramid Turtle, Pharaonic Guardian. Uh, and like that card just gave you access to like strong and better and just all sorts of zombies. So like you get your Ryukokis and Patrician of Darkness and Spirit Reapers and stuff like everything that's not Kyonshee, which is a little bit unfortunate. But again, if you're playing like a pure thing, Kyonshee's like there for it. But we at least went through each card and like really dissected, um, their uses, possible theory crafting. And again, there is a world you could move stuff around here. But I'll leave that for you all to discuss. I'm sure if people are watching this like video post stream want to like comment about it, I mean, I'll listen. Like, I think it's cool, like, just look at these cards and be like, well, you just are in this sort of like methodology, not this, other one. Like, I feel like D, I'm pretty confident. Like, you could theoretically say 13th Grave and Dark Sailor could potentially move up just pure stats and have them on the same, like, thing as Yoronzo Magical Ghost because they all kind of fit that same buffer, but yeah, like certain attack prowess, like they are more useful in that regard. So, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a stream here. Pretty short stream, but it's a Halloween stream. Go have some Halloween fun. I was able to stream for an hour here today, doing this little fun spooky thing. No Janjo live next week. But Top the Guy should be back next Wednesday. He's a Grill Master, so S here, absolutely. Yeah, so thank you all for joining. And until then, have a happy Halloween and be spooky. Like me, Wolverine.